Yeah, so cool to see Greg back up to form. Like you said, a little pep in his step. It seems like this year, kind of some renewed energy. Oh, a little inside.
Oh, down hard into that right-hand corner. Just got taken out by something. Front wheel left the chap.
Yeah, that was a weird one. He went inside in that left-hander, and I was like, wow, he's kind of getting out of the bumps. But if you go inside there, it really doesn't leave you with much room because you got to set up for that next corner straight away. I wonder if there's a rock or something in that corner we couldn't see that made him have to switch the lineup. But, man, good to see him kind of ride away from that. That's got to be one of the hardest places you could crash on the track.
Loris Vergier then in the start hut for Trek Factory Racing. What can he do in 2024? We talked about Danny Hart's hunt for a win here. Loris Vergier is on the hunt for a title. He needs one, Aaron, doesn't he?
Yeah, you feel like he's been so close so many years. Kind of has a tendency to start the year out really strong, and just for whatever reason, it just kind of hasn't been able to finish it.
See Loris ride, he kind of reminds me of a cat. He's just so precise and just... I think he's a real perfectionist as well, you know, but he has had some niggling injuries that I think he kind of keeps quiet, probably why we haven't always seen him like right at the top consistently, but it would be great to...
Oh!
Yo.
Just as we say that, the back end just kicks up.
That's
and
very unlike Loris, in my opinion.
So excited for him this year, man. You just feel like that win is just any moment now.
Second Lundial last season. Opens his account for 2024.
Getting out of the gate strong. He's one of those riders that tends to just build as the course goes on. Super strong. Maybe the only rider in the pits that you won't hear complain about his hands hurting on a track like this.
Well, we talked about it last season, didn't we? That he couldn't get tracks long enough, and he just went faster as they went on. This is pretty much about as long and fast as they get.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting if he can keep building here. You know, he's had a couple little issues, a couple little mechanicals in practice. If he can keep this thing together and keep the wheels rolling.
The reasoning behind those bars, he said he was getting chin bar stripe on his helmet.
Yep, I would, if you saw how tall those things are, you believe it.
Yeah.
The problem is if he gets the bars any higher, he's going to need a crossbar, and then he's going to go back into the same problem. I don't know who his bar sponsor is, but this would be a great time for some signature bars. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's had meetings this week. I'm sure there have been meetings. The bars are made by On-Off Mondrakers.
Really
in-house
nice.
component brand.
Yeah, sneaky little inside there, coming that right further up, miss all the holes. That's one thing Dakota's really good at, kind of opening the track up, just moving over a little bit, kind of sets himself up. Man, a lot of speed through the high line there. See how straight he's going in these corners.
They are an out-and-out race machine, these new Mondrakers. They're specifically designed for racing, not for bike park laps or for cruising about on, despite the fact that they are really adjustable. Ronan Dunn said actually he spent so long in Queenstown because it took him a good while experimenting with the different links. He's a second faster at the second split, Dakota Norton now.
Yeah, keeping it low on the gas here. Yeah, Dakota said the same thing. He's like, maybe not the smoothest bike you've ever ridden, but if you're trying to go fast, it carries that speed. Another little inside there. It's going to be, yeah, he's extending.
2.3 seconds at the third split now. Dakota Norton. Can he get his first UCI Downhill World Cup win?
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. If he can come out of the gate strong and kind of set the pace, he usually just gets better as the track goes. I would not expect him to lose any time down here at the bottom.
With that old blue GoPro backed helmet. Let's see what the next split says. 54.7 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. 2.3 seconds. 1.8 now at fourth. So it's still green by some margin for Dakota Norton here.
Yeah, choosing to tuck instead of pedal between those couple of top jumps. Always a hard call to make, but he's got to get low here.
He was 10th for the UCI World Championships here last summer. Where is he going to stack up this year? First place for Dakota Norton. 1.7 seconds faster than Greg Williamson. How's that for margins? Williamson can't believe that.
That is hard to put that much time in on this track, so I would say that's at the very least going to be a podium ride, but man, what a ride that would be if that ends up being a winning run. Plays almost every race.
He is on a bit of form at the minute. He's won 2 domestic races already this year, so he arrives into this first World Cup full of confidence, and didn't it show yesterday? He turned the 30th position in qualifying round to an 8th place semi-finish.
Yeah.
And that takes some doing.
Yeah, spending a lot of time in grip, riding and training and testing. Definitely checking all the boxes and putting the work in. Such a cool kid. Awesome to hang out with. Big fan of this guy. And yeah, you kind of just feel the trajectory he's been at has been very impressive. The results haven't been all over the board, just slowly climbing up. And you're like, man, once he kind of gets it figured out and gets that base and finds that little bit of extra speed, it's going to be good things coming for him. So yesterday was that day. It seems like it's starting.
And there goes the tyre. It's decided it wants no more to do with Austin Dooley's rear rim.
Yeah, it's a tough one to swallow. Yeah, like we were talking about, I think the rain that came in yesterday, the track was really starting to come apart at the start of qualifiers yesterday. Then the rain came, and this track's a little better when you get a little bit of moisture on it. Kind of holds the gravel together.
Fort William, on its 19th international appearance, is finding a way to demolish them. It's always been this way. It's always been this tough in Fort William.
Yeah.
Luke Meyer-Smith, Australian national champion. Stymied last season, broke a collarbone, but he's back this year and he wants so much more from it. Won an EDR World Cup early doors in Tasmania. Can he get one on the big bike?
Yeah, what a ride from him yesterday, man. You can see it just going for it out of the gate. He knows. When you get up there, yo, that was nice, hopping those braking bumps into that turn.
He had a real breakout ride here back in 2022 when he got a 9th on board a Propian, the Ben Reed squad. He was 18th at the Worlds last summer, but was still kind of on the comeback trail from injury. And big, fast, really physically strong.
Yeah.
Could be his day today.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, he's charging. No resting over here. He's taking pedals everywhere. Oh, gapping out of that. That turn is pretty sketchy to do that.
Do you remember earlier on the broadcast, whenever you talked about sitting down on that boardwalk and resting
you used
for
to
a
sit
second?
down, take a breath, and it's like, nope, not anymore. You got to be on the gas.
Luke Meyer-Smith just jumped halfway across it.
That's awesome. Luke's just kind of choosing to run the main as fast as he can.
Jumps cleanly across those routes, goes low in that turn, makes it work for him, then spit. Goes right and just went slightly too high.
Man.
That's a big impact from Luke Meyer-Smith.
I was just going to say, I haven't seen anybody go inside in that left and be able to hold it all the way around and not eventually fade wide.
Oh,
really nice, but it does put you in a position to be really tight for that next right-hander.
I think he has just re-entered the track at the wrong point as well from where he left it. Aaron, talk us through this.
Yeah, he looked like he was in a good spot, but just fully committed. Just pushes the front end over the top of the berm just a little bit. My teammate Seth actually did the exact same thing in the left-hander right there the other day and ended up with some cool stitches as a reward.
Lucas Shaw, Canyon Collective.
Don't often see him kind of sliding around. He knows that's what he needs to do. Kind of find that limit. Nice straight line to the outside there.
Lucas Shaw really aggressive. Over to the rider's right-hand side. Jumps across that little gap in the woods.
Yeah, we know how good Dakota was in that second split. So he's still in touch here, and he's going to be really powerful at the bottom.
There is the top five then. Norton, Coulange, Williams, and Vergier. Kolb, are they about to be joined by Shaw? Is he going to eject one of those names from the front list race? He's 6/10 back at the second split. Lucas Shaw now.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. If there's a section where I feel like Luca can shine, it's basically from here to the finish line. You're going to see him get hard on the pedals, super precise.
That bike, another machine with plenty of suspension trickery going on. Tram flight attendant adjusting the damping settings. The rider's got the ability to do it with control to the left-hand side of his thumb. So, free to go after this. Bruni, Isles, Brosnan, Fort William being as tough as ever. And Aaron, really weather conditions. We've got the best of them so far.
Yeah, this is an all-star day at Fort William. Couldn't ask for much more than this.
Big whip landed perfectly by Lucas Shaw.
Yeah, again, look how tight the times are. We're talking about half a second max with these last couple of riders.
And this is a man with plenty of reserves of horsepower to empty the tank now. He's 8/10 outside, but we have seen riders turn around in this last split. Lucas Shaw heading towards the finish area. Off the final jump, crosses the line and goes into second place. Half a second behind Dakota Norton. It's America 1-2 in Fort William.
He knows he was close. Yeah, that one's tough too, because it's like these guys both battle at home all the time too. You fly all the way over here and you end up fighting for the wins with the same guys.
US national champ saying 1-2 on the podium. Loic Bruni, Specialized Gravity, the French national champion, the reigning UCI Downhill World Cup overall title holder, sets off to try and break his bogey track. Fort William has never been kind to this man. Is this the year he finally rights the wrongs?
He got a disc brake cover on his bike. I haven't seen that before.
They never stop tinkering with this Specialized prototype, and everything they seem to be doing seems to be working so far. Bruni absolutely superb through there.
Yeah, that's looking really good. Yeah, Loic's looked comfortable all weekend on the right lines. Just, I don't know, it seems to me like he's kind of figured it out. His qualifying time was, I think, a shocker to everybody. He came down almost 3 seconds faster than everybody, and I'm curious to see what happens this run, because there's a lot of energy to put into one of those runs, and I don't know if he backed off a little bit. I mean, obviously the semi was still very competitive in third, really fast time, but you kind of almost feel like he was maybe saving a little more in the tank for today.
Clips the pole on his way through there. Bruni swings left.
Man, look at that split.
1 second faster at the first split for Loic Bruni. His best here was 4th at the UCI Worlds last season. Before that, you had to go back to 2018 for a 5th. He had that huge get-off in 2019, if you remember that mid-air. We talked about it with him earlier in the week, and he said it was one of the worst crashes because he had so much time to think about the impact.
Yeah, nothing like flying through the air, Ricky Bobby style. You're like, yep, flying through the air right now.
Yeah.
Not good. It was a huge crash, man. He hit his face. He was kind of bleeding everywhere. It was a scary one. It was good to see him walk away from that. But
he didn't just walk away from it. He rallied to take the title that year as well. Just as tough as it gets. That is 2.7 seconds faster for Loic Bruni.
That is a lot of time on this track.
158 beats per minute, 6 times a UCI Downhill World Champion. Last year was his 3rd World Cup overall title, and what a way to start this season. 2.7 seconds up at the second split in Fort William.
Yeah, it is very hard to pick this run apart and find something he's doing wrong.
Bruni.
Seems like the bike's working well. He's just spot on, his lines everywhere.
When he and that Specialized start clicking together, he kind of skims through stuff.
Yeah.
You never see him sort of get impacted by the holes he's travelling over. Top 3 at the minute, Dakota Norton, Lucas Shaw, Benoit Coulons. That looks all set to change if this run keeps going the way it's going.
Yeah, and he has a history at the bottom. I don't know if it's that bike, if he's got lockouts or...
2.5 now, so he's dropped 0.2.
Yeah, whatever they do, he finds time at the bottom of tracks. That thing goes really quick. He's super efficient. You'll see him staying low here, nice and tucked in.
Multiple suspension modes on that bike, so he will have a setup for these jumps to stiffen things up to carry the maximum speed. He just needs to get the wheels set down the right place and get on the pedals. 165 beats per minute now. Bruni now heads down towards the line. There's not much more he can do apart from this final jump. Is Loic Bruni gonna go into the hot seat? Bruni takes the lead by 3 seconds from Dakota Norton. That is how you start a title defense. Loic Bruni punches the air. He's not done it that often in Fort William. That one felt good.
Yeah, what a run. Wow.
Finn Isles.
Oh, he's pushing hard already.
Pushing extremely hard up there, Finn Isles.
Oh, just blowing the dirt off the track. You see it, these top couple of guys, they know it's like you cannot rest, you cannot give any time away from the first pedal stroke out of the gate. You've got to be all in.
This man's teammate, Loic Bruni, has made an incredible statement of intent at the start of the 32nd UCI Downhill World Cup season. Second in Val di Sole Trentino last season. Finn Isles, very, very different track here in Fort William, but no less intimidating. Doesn't look scared of it. Let's see what the second split says.
I love watching Finn ride. He makes the turn so hard, kind of leans in with his head.
1.8 back, so the pressure being turned on by Lloyd Bruni here in finals in Fort William, and Finn Isles at the minute doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, a little off the back, but he's fighting for second right now. Still very much in it. These are those rides too. It's like you get somebody like Bruni that everything clicks on the right day. It's like, just go ahead and take your second place. It's going to be a long year, a lot of races coming up.
He's the ultimate Sunday rider, isn't he? He's the ultimate race rider.
Yeah, Bruni's one of those guys, when it matters most, he has a tendency to just figure it out. You know, it's very difficult to do.
2.1 now, so it is moving away from Isles as he does that massive second river gap, new for this year.
Yeah, he looks so good. It's hard to pick it apart. It's, you know, Bruni, I think that carrying speed is just a little bit better all the way down, but...
Oh, this would have been right. This would have been it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the for the run before it.
Count out 2 seconds. It ain't much.
180 beats per minute for Finn Isles from Specialized Gravity. Then, as he heads through this jump section again, he will be flicking through the suspension modes on that Specialized prototype to carry as much speed as he can.
He's looking good. Good backsides on the jumps.
One off the riders to beat this season, but you just get the feeling that he mightn't have got enough in the tank to beat his teammate today. Finn Isles crosses the line and goes into second place. It's a Specialized Gravity 1-2 as things stand with only one rider left at the top. Left at the top, and it's this man, Troy Brosnan.
Yeah, so efficient on the bike. You'll see it very rare does he ever put a wheel out of place. Very tidy on the bike, really good on the pedals. A lot of experience with this guy. Maybe one of the most consistent, or maybe the most consistent racer we've ever seen. The amount of podiums and top 10s this kid has had is unbelievable.
He's just kind of been caught between generations, and I don't have to look too far beside me with somebody in the commentary booth. He's kind of been caught between those big dominant figures in the sport, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think for Troy it was, I think early on when we were teammates, he was so fast and he'd have some mistakes and he kind of toned it back a little bit. And he's kind of just been known as being like so consistent on every track, every weather terrain, all the time. Troy's there.
Yeah, go!
Troy Brosnan then. He's looked fast. Another bike equipped with that RockShox flight attendant adjustable suspension system. 2.2 back though. That's ominous. That's a lot, Aaron.
Yeah, it is. You could see a really good straight direct line, but I mean that was what Loic did to everybody else, right? He was like, yeah, maybe, and then he just all of a sudden was 2 seconds up on everybody. So he really did something special in that second split.
Yep, he just kept going, didn't he, Bruni?
Well, lot to fight for here. I mean, he's basically right on the bubble with everything else. This is more what we would expect if you look at the results from second on back. Usually there's, you know, 7 dudes on the same second, first through 7th or whatever.
Fascinating to see 2 sets of teammates going at it like this as well.
Yeah, it seems like Canadian Specialized definitely got it figured out this week, and he's pulling back a bit of time though. That's pretty surprising. Bruni was so strong all the way to the bottom.
He has. He's bought 3/10 of a second back now. Brosnan, as we said, superb power to weight. Few can pedal like him, so
yeah,
if he can keep this going, 56 kilometers an hour through the speed trap from Troy Brosnan as he heads down into the jumps. Brosnan, just drifts out slightly wide. I wonder if he just got in the kitty there.
Oh, he's pulled back more.
He's pulled back even more time. 1.7 now is the gap.
Yeah, watch this boy on the pedals here. He can get her.
Brosnan, tasting blood. Heads down towards the finish line. Is it going to be enough to beat Loic Bruni here today? Troy Brosnan going for a victory 10 years apart. Troy Brosnan goes second in Fort William. Loic Bruni wins the opening UCI Downhill World Cup of the season at a track that has never been kind to him. Bruni puts a few ghosts to bed with that one. Finn Isles has to settle for third. Troy Brosnan's got past him in second. What a result that is. Bruni, victorious in Fort William. Celebrates ahead of Brosnan, Isles, Norton and Shaw, your top 5.